How about now? Can you hear me? Just turn my microphone on. Can't hear anything. All right, hold on. Sound check. This is my first time doing the whole YouTube. Well, second time doing the YouTube live thing. So let's make sure that you guys can hear me. Hold on. All right. What about now? Can you guys hear me on YouTube? Okay, let me see if I can see you all. Okay, good. Y'all, I'm good. You can hear. Yay! All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Yes, please like this video and share it with anybody else you think is awake, because I'm about to talk about how to make money in the economy or in the stock market, even in an uncertain economy. So you all tell me real quick in the chat, what do you think is the biggest problem right now, or maybe even your biggest fear with the economy and the overall stock market right now? So, are you afraid of coronavirus cases, the presidential election, the stimulus uncertainty being in limbo? Which one do you think will most impact the economy right now? I know all of those things are kind of uncertain. Which one is your biggest fear, or the thing that you think is most uncertain? Thank you, Kevin. So Kevin says election. Jose says nothing. Really? You don't think any of those things? Douglas says all of the above. Desi says no fear. Okay, good. So you're not afraid, but what do you think? Hey, Chris. Chris says election, stimulus, election. Yep. Yep. And then tell me this, what personally do you think all of these uncertainties will, how will they personally impact you? So, maybe would you get sick from coronavirus? Maybe job not having enough hours. How will all of this uncertainty personally impact you? Good. And Wanda says, I want to know what to do to invest successfully, no fear. Great. You're in the right place. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. How do you successfully invest even during this? And good. I see AF says unemployment, S5 unemployment. Yep. The last time we had a high spike in coronavirus cases, many people lost their jobs. So unemployment was extremely high, is still extremely high. So now you got to figure out, well, how do I supplement my income, right? How do I make sure that everything keeps running, even if they furlough me? Or what if I have to take time off because I'm sick? And I had many of my students. So I'm Terry Gioma, just to introduce myself real quick, and I'll do it more in the full webinar. But I'm Terry Gioma, and I'm the founder of an investing school called Trade and Travel. And we have over 3,500 students in the course. So I teach over 3,000 people on a regular basis how to invest successfully in the stock market. And we focus mainly on stocks and options, and we're active investors. We're investing for income. Our goal is to help you supplement your income as if it was a side hustle. You're going to be investing in stocks as if it was a side hustle. And eventually you can be like me, and if you want to, replace your income with investing. So that's kind of what I do. That's my bread and butter. I'm a day and swing trader. I'm a trader all day, every day. Yes, shout out to Trade and Travel. And the reason why I say that is because I have students from all walks of life. And I see some of you guys in the chat are talking about like getting sick would be a real thing that could impact your life right now. And I actually have several students that got coronavirus, and they were trading while they were in bed because, like, you get really tired. I had a couple others who had losses in their family because of coronavirus, but it helped them sustain the family. So I know that it's important for you guys to learn this skill set. And that's why I really want to teach you all tonight so that you know how to invest to supplement your income and keep things going afloat, even when the economy is uncertain. All right. So, y'all with me? Y'all ready to learn some stuff? I'm going to share my screen and you all let me know if you can see it because I'm actually in Zoom. So I want to make sure that you guys can still see. But if I share my screen, are you all able to see my presentation? I'm going to share it real big. And it seems like it's taking a little minute, but can you guys see that? Hold on, now I can't see you. Hold on. Hope you can see. Let me double check. Somebody on Instagram, tell me if you can see the slides on YouTube so I can make sure that they're there. But it's Trade and Travel with Terry Gioma. And tonight we're going to talk about how to make money in the stock market and avoid the uncertainty of the economy. And I will tell you the truth. It is worth staying all the way to the end of this presentation because I did add a really great gift to everybody who stays to the end of the presentation. So let's go. And someone says, no, ma'am. Okay, someone else says, I can see it. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's see. Let me just double check real quick. YouTube, can y'all see the slides? Okay, good. Everybody's saying yes. Perfect. All right, let's go. Let me come back and share them again. I just have to make sure that y'all could see. Present. All right. All right. So tell me in the chat. This is going to be really interactive. I know that it's late and I want you guys to be engaged. So tell me how would an extra $200 a day impact your life? And I love seeing this first because I like to see where everybody is. Like, what would an extra $200 a day do for your life? And if anybody's thinking that that's not a lot of money, that's actually, well, there's 5 trading days in a week. So that's actually an extra $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month, just for making extra $200 a day. And then that's an extra $48,000 a year just from the extra $200 a day. So what would that do to your life if you could make an extra $200 a day? Yes, and I'm seeing I can get out of debt. What else? Car payment. Nice, nice. Buy a home. Exactly. Someone says pay it all off. Yes. Yes. And so for me, it was travel. I wanted to travel around the world. So by making an extra $200 a day, I actually could replace my income. It was really $300, but $200, I could still live real good. With an extra $200 a day, I could replace my income as an assistant principal and travel the world. So that was my big thing. If I could make $200 a day, then I would travel. And it's not just me. I also have other students who $200 a day changed their life too. So this is Alex and Selenia. And for them, it brought them quality time. So not only with each other, because they actually were living in separate cities. So what was so cool, and I didn't even know this until afterwards, but they were living in separate cities, but they were married because Selenia had a really great job as a lawyer. She was a corporate lawyer. And then Alex had a really great job too, but had his job had given him like a promotion and moved him to a different city, but she couldn't leave because she had to stay in her job. So they had to be long distance until she found a way to replace her income. And she was able to do that trading. So she finally was able to start, they were able to live in the same city. And then not only that, she sent me this sweet, sweet text message because she was also able to start spending more time with her family. So if you see down here, she says, I want to share a special moment with you. I was able to go see my little nephew dance at his school assembly yesterday. He performed a traditional dance from Chile. And then she says, this was very special because I used to have a crazy demanding workload and hours when I worked in Big Law. I wasn't typically able to make it to his school functions, and now I can. Thank you again, Terry. So extra $200 a day brings quality time. And I do want to say from the beginning, because I know everybody who's here is probably like, man, when's she going to tell us that this is a whole bunch of money? Nope. You don't have to have a lot of money to invest. So we'll just take that off the table from the beginning. This is another one of my students, Carlene, and her family. And you can see here that when she first started, she's been in the course now for a little while. But when she first started, she started with $187. But if you look at her profit, she made $20 off of the $180. So that's actually 11% return, 11.9% return on the amount that was in her account. And she says, a quick and small profit on XLV, still practicing cautiously. Any profit is a good profit. But just imagine as she continues to grow her account, now she has this skill set. So she'll be able to make more and more income. And for some of you guys, like an extra $100 a week would be nice. And $20 a day is $100 a week. So there you go. You don't have to have these blowout numbers to really impact your life. And I'll show you this because this is like an account that I was trading versus a student's account. So in this student's account, she was trading Teladoc, and she says first successful live sale, bought 4 shares of Teladoc, and she like goes through the whole thing. But you guys see here, she had made $80 on $986. But that's an 8% return, an 8.8% gain. Versus over here, I was trading and I made $68,000 in a day, which of course is great. That's like great money. But look at the account size. So my return is actually only 4.7% gain. So it's not about the amount of money all the time. It's about the gain and the percentage gain in investing. So no matter what account size you're starting with, you can still have really profitable days and you can still do really well. Does that make sense? I just want you guys to know, even from the jump, that it's not about how much money you have, it's about how you work that money that you have. Okay. And especially right now in these uncertain times, I know that there's some people that your biggest concern with investing is that you don't have enough money to start. And I just want to knock that concern away now. You have enough, no matter if you're starting with $180, $900, or $1 million, you have enough. It's just about how you work that. And if you're on this call, what are you probably wondering? You're probably wondering some of these things. Is now the right time for me to invest? Y'all put a 1 in the chat if any of these things are you. If you're wondering, is now the right time for me to invest? Put a 1 in the chat. What about if I never invested before? Is it possible for me to actually make money in the stock market? Wondering that. What about what should I even invest in? I don't know where to start. Put a 1 in the chat if that's you. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to invest in. And then that other question of how much do I need to get started? I don't think I have enough money. And we just touched on that one a little bit, right? Like you have enough. No matter where you're starting, you have enough. Now we just got to teach you how to do it right so you don't lose your starting amount, right? All right. So now here are the 4 secrets that I'm going to cover with you tonight. The first one, and I switched up the order a little bit. I might even switch it again, but the first secret is the number one way you can protect your investments and make money even if the market goes down, right? So that's important, especially now, that's important. Second secret, how to trade stocks at an unfair advantage, even if you've never invested before. Then we're going to talk about the top 5 investing mistakes all new traders need to avoid. What are those mistakes? How do we get away from them? And then secret number 4 is how you can make $1,000 a day without spending your entire day online monitoring your trades. Your time is valuable, right? So how do we get you away from the computer and able to do other things? How do you work a full job and still trade? So we'll talk through that. All right. And why this is important for you right now, I think all of you guys know the answer to this. It's because we've seen that coronavirus come this year and it has impacted us in ways we never would have imagined before. And now we're realizing more than ever that we don't have as much control over our money as we thought we did. And not just our money, we don't have control over pretty much anything. um, as much as we thought we did. And so now more than ever, it's important for us to start getting our finances in order and learning how to make this money grow, learning how to not be on someone else's time schedule, learning how to take control of our life back, right? That's why this is important for you right now. And it doesn't have to be out of control. It doesn't have to be that way. So imagine if you were in control of your own situation and didn't have to worry about a boss calling you into a last minute meeting, risking your health as an essential worker, too much time away from your loved ones. And we all know this list goes on and on and on. Just imagine if it was better than that. And then imagine if you knew how to invest your paycheck, stimulus check, unemployment, or even your 401k to consistently make money in the stock market with confidence. And I know some of you guys, many of you guys that are following me, you're making money right now. But the thing is, are you doing it consistently? How do we get you consistent so that you can actually, you can feel confident in being able to rely on it as a source of income? And then this is what happened to me. So I, um, I was a couple things were the turning point for me to actually start investing full time. One of them was my friend John passing away. And this is a picture here of our crew. We had like a really awesome crew in Chicago. When I first graduated from college, I went to MIT and then I moved to Chicago right after that. And this was like my friend group. And it's so funny because now like things are coming back full circle, and it's just a blessing that I had this cool crew. But one of the people you will see in every single picture next to me was John, because John was just amazing. He was always happy and joyful, and he was like that ride or die. He was always like ready for whatever. Like, okay, John, you want to go here? Yeah, you want to try out this new restaurant? Yeah, let's go. Like just always like the best. And one day when I was going to work, I started getting this like this line of text from our friend group. And it was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Hard morning. Um can't believe this." And have you ever had your phone just blow up and you're wondering like what is going on? Like why are they all talking? And so that was happening that morning and I was actually on my way to work. And come to find out that John had passed away. But I couldn't even deal with it at the time because I was going to work, like literally on my way to the school building where I was an assistant principal. And this job was like the job from hell. And like it just was. Like my boss had quit 2 weeks before I started, so I never really got trained. Then we had to work all the time. I was assistant principal, but I was one of the founding principals. So like we got no break. What summer? What are you talking about? Summer? I don't even know what you're talking about. Like weekends? Oh, who has weekends? Oh, you work until midnight? Just midnight? What about 2 a.m.? Like it was just ridiculous. Like we worked all the time. And then on top of that, I had like petty bosses. And I didn't just have one, I had four. So I had two on the operation side of like how the school was running. And then I had two bosses from the education side, making sure that we had everything for the kids. But like one, first of all, they never agreed on anything, which was crazy. And then I had one of them who was just super petty. So like I remember like this is the biggest memory I have. Like we did this, like I did this big project decorating the school because I was over the operations of the school. So I had put all these banners up. Mind you, I had like ordered the banners, finally got my janitor and I to put all the banners up. They're looking good. I'm excited for the kids to see it. She comes and she mad. And I'm like, why are you mad? I didn't tell to her like that, of course, because I was scared of her. So I was like, I'm sorry. I heard that you're not really enjoying operations. Like, what's wrong? Of course, that's how I said it. And then, but in my head, I was like, why is she mad? This is beautiful. What's wrong with her? Okay. Anyway, um, But the point is, she told me that the reason why she was mad and didn't like what I did was because one thumbtack was a different color than all the other thumbtacks. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, all this effort that we done put into this, and the fact that one thumbtack is the wrong color, are you kidding me? And then the thing was, it was probably my janitor. He just ran out of thumbtacks. It wasn't like he tried to have the wrong color. Like he just went through intentionally through all of the thumbtacks and picked the wrong one. Like, no, like that wasn't even a thing. But literally, she told the whole district that she didn't like my ops because of stuff like that, just pettiness. So anyway, if anybody else, I feel like I needed a moment there, but if anybody else has been in a situation that crazy, like that's where I was. I was underpaid, unappreciated, misunderstood, not satisfied, just in a horrible work environment. And then on top of all this, my friend just passed away. So at this point, I'm just like, no, I can't do this anymore. Life is too short. I could be gone tomorrow and I'm in this horrible situation. I've got to get an exit strategy. So that's when I started studying trading for like really intentionally. Up until this, I had done it as a side hustle. Like I went to MIT and I interned on Wall Street at Morgan Stanley. So I knew about investing, but I just hadn't gone down that route for my job. So I had done it like as a side hustle for some time, but it wasn't until 2016, going into 2017, that I said, I'm going to start doing this all the time. I'm going to buckle down, study. I'm going to practice every day. I'm going to make it so that I can use this to leave this place because they can kick rocks and I'm about to kill one of these kids and I'm going to punch this lady in the face. I didn't say all that. Once again, that was what I thought in my head, but I didn't act like that at the school. I was really nice. Okay. Anyway, um y'all, I'm silly and it's late. But anyway, so I finally was able to leave the school and I started traveling full time. And I was just trading and traveling. And this is like me in Australia. I finally made it to Australia, which was on my bucket list. And I traveled everywhere. So I was in first place I went when I left the school was I went to oh, hold on, let me see. Let me zoom out so y'all can see it. But I went over here on the right hand side to China. So I was in um South Korea for a month, Vietnam for a month, Thailand for a month. I got to visit Japan because every place I'd also do like a side trip. Then from there, I went over here to Australia, over here, then came back home and did a class. This was my first trade and travel class in the States. While I was gone, people started asking me, well, how are you affording to travel? And I would tell them, oh, I'm trading stocks. And so the people I was traveling with, well, they were like, please teach us. So I taught one class in Thailand and then they loved it. And actually I enjoyed teaching it too. So I was like, it once again, I'm gonna tell y'all some of my back thoughts and then I'll tell you my real thoughts. So I told them, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to do it one time. But in the back of my head, I was kind of like, that was fun. If they ask me again, I might do it. So lo and behold, they asked me again. And and in Vietnam, we did another class, but I still was kind of on that. I don't want to be in education anymore. This is me living my best life. I ain't going to teach no classes. Lo and behold, came back to the United States and I was finishing up my master's degree at seminary. And one of the classes, you can see this is what the room looked like. So this is Dallas Theological Seminary. Right after my last final, I asked them, can I borrow a classroom? Because my friends keep asking me to teach them how to trade. And so I told my friends, okay, fine. They gave us a classroom. Come and look at the room. The room was packed. We had 71 people between here. And then I had some other friends that wanted to know about it. So I said, okay, fine, I'll do an online thing for you. They came too online. So it was super cool. And honestly, this is the first time I saw God move in this whole thing and was like, I can't believe, like, okay, something's happening here. But fast forward, now I have like a whole school for trade and travel. This is me making $20,000 on the beach in Mykonos in Greece. Like It's been great, and I hope that you guys get a chance to do this too, because it really is just freeing. So once again, my goal during today is to help reveal 4 secrets to you to investing in the stock market to stay afloat and supplement your income. And then I'm going to share some pro tips about investing, especially right now during economic uncertainty. And then I'm going to share how you can work alongside me and learn how to make money in the stock market with confidence. So if you need some help, I'll show you how to do that too. We covered the secrets before, but here they are one more time: how to protect yourself, how to trade at an unfair advantage, how to avoid mistakes, and then how to do this without spending all your time in front of the computer. So, y'all ready for the secrets? Hope y'all are here. Press like and press share. Um, let's go. So, secret number one. I hope y'all allow me to be a little silly too, because once again, it's late and I can. No, I'm just playing. Anyway, okay, so secret number one: the number one way you can protect your investments and make money, even if the market goes down. And I put this one as number one because, especially right now during economic uncertainty, I think you guys need some tools to help protect yourself and even some tools to help actually make money during this season. So, the first one is, some of you probably feel the stock market is such a gamble. And many of the students that I've worked with have felt this exact same way. So you are not alone. But the truth is that you do have control. Some people think, oh, you have no control of your losses, right? But that's not right. You do have control. That is completely false. The way that we have control, graphics are fun. The way that we have control is by planning ahead of time. Everybody needs a trading plan, and that's like one of the biggest things that I teach my students in my class is putting together a trading plan. But part of that trading plan is you have to plan where you will enter and where you will exit a trade. That is extremely important. One of the things that I'm pretty sure happened today and many days when the market goes down is there's some people who lost money because they didn't have an exit strategy. They just got into a stock because they thought that it was a good stock, but they had no plan on how to exit the trade. That already sets you up for failure. So, this is how we're going to make sure that you're thinking about your reward and your risk ahead of time. And it's called a reward to risk ratio. You're going to plan where you're entering and you're going to plan where you're exiting, and you're going to make sure that your reward on the trade is 3 times your risk. Okay. And I'm of course, this is a short hour, so I can't teach you everything. But one thing I can teach you is one of the ways to protect yourself and to make sure that you have the risk part of this in place is by putting in a stop limit, or excuse me, stop market order. It's called a stop order type. All right. So, what is a stop? What does it do? So, a stop loss order, it protects you from losing when your stocks are falling. So, if your stocks are falling super fast, this stop you'll hit that level and it'll get you out of the trade so that you don't lose any more money. And it's kind of like this. Like if you look here, this is me on the zip line. So I'm going down, going down, going down, and then I hit this buoy right here and it stops the momentum all the way so that I don't hit the platform, so I don't, kill myself. This was me in Puerto Rico flying through the mountains. I wish I was still there now. I'm gonna need Corona to go somewhere. But anyway, this this was me in Puerto Rico, and that buoy like automatically stops you from moving. Anybody else in here been ziplining and you like know what I'm talking about? You're going down super fast, and then all of a sudden this thing stops you. Well, that's what a stop loss does in trading. If your stocks are going down against you, you will hit that stop and get you out of the trade. And what's cool about this is if you are able to put a stop in, then you know how to protect yourself from losing, and you also know what your risk is. So now you can calculate, all right, if my risk is $300, I need to be in trades that only profit me at least 3 times that amount. So I need to be in trades that are going to give me at least $900 because I have the ability to lose 300. So this is only worth it if the reward is 3 times this 300 I'm about to lose. Does that make sense? So you're going to make sure you have a 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio, which we do using charts. Of course, I could show you more in trade and travel, but the key is you're going to have to put stops into all of your trades. And this, though, is something that you can do for all of your accounts. Even if you're like, maybe you're self-directing an IRA and it's a longer term retirement account, you still can put in some stop loss orders to protect you. So if we do get the market dropping like it did in March from coronavirus, you'll be protected and you won't lose everything. So one thing I encourage you guys to do is try to go in and manually add stops to all of your positions. Now, I know some of you guys that scares you because you're like, well, what if it hits the stop? I'll be out. But you got to start thinking about it as a bad thing. It's protecting you. Like, this is like your insurance, your safety net. You should be so thankful that your stop got hit, because there's a possibility the stock could have kept falling. All right. So go in and add them to all of your positions. If you're in a position for the long term, you don't have to put the stop close. It can be further down. And if it's further down, that's fine. But now you at least know, though, that if everything falls apart, you won't lose everything. Okay, so that's one tip that you can do easily right now to start protecting yourself from losing. Now, someone I'm sure is going to ask, well, Terry, how do we know where to put it? Of course, like, I could tell you more, like in a course, there's a lot that goes into that. I use charts to figure out where I put my stop. We look at like where the banks are buying and then put the stop below that. But no matter what, just try to put something in to protect yourself. And it's a stop loss. All right. Now, one other tip is short selling. So you can also make money when the market goes down, and it's called short selling. We cover that in our VIP trade and travel program, but I do want you to know that that's a thing. So there's ways to protect yourself putting in stops, but there's also ways to make money as the market goes down. And I can teach you how to do that too. But today I was actually like at an appointment. I'm doing self-care. So I went to like this, I don't know, it's like a hydration appointment so you can be hydrated, I guess. Um I tried it. We're going to see what happens if I feel anything different. But I was talking to the lady there and she was like, "But Terry, are you sure that now's the right time to invest?" And I told her, "Well, I can make money on the way down." And she looked, she said, "What? Yes, you can make money on the way down." So it's definitely something to learn, and we'll talk about it a little more in the next section. But does this make sense that putting in a stop loss to set your risk will actually help you calculate higher probability trades? Because if you know your risk, then you can know if a trade is even worth taking, because you can calculate your reward. Then it's no longer a gamble because now it's a calculated trade. And if you know that, then that leads to far less risky trades, because once again, it's a calculated trade now. Does that make sense? Y'all put a yes in the chat if it's making sense. And then this is one of my students. This is actually my first student. His name is Ray. Um, oh man, Raymond. And like, it's so fun. I love seeing his face because he just reminds me of like how far I've come. Because he was the very first student. Like, after that class I showed you, he was the first one to pay me for the online program. In that class, I said, I was making it up because I didn't have it at the time. I said, if you want to learn more about investing, I have a course that can teach you, and it's, blah, blah, blah amount of money. And I thought nobody was going to buy it. So I was just throwing it out there because I had heard like a webinar and somebody said, well, you tell them you have a course. So I said at the end, I have a course. And I'm thinking, like, again, no one's going to buy it. Raymond was my first student. So it's fun to see his face. But if you see the text message right there, and it says, "Hey Terry, just wanted to show you how your class affected my week, avoiding those 5 mistakes." Like, I had taught him 5 mistakes. One of them was not putting in stops. So he says, "Avoiding those 5 mistakes and not being greedy paid off. I'm ready for next week to see if I can stay consistent. Thanks again." So you guys see how his chart now is going up, and like how much of a big impact that it had in his life. So putting in risk management, and like, I have several different things that I teach my students on how to protect themselves. Stops is just one part of a bigger risk management plan, but having risk management will help you to start seeing change in your portfolio. Because first you got to protect yourself. Then you can start making money. All right, so let's keep going. Secret number 2. Y'all gotta be with me, right? Y'all still with me? Everybody still here? Um, y'all gotta keep me energy. I'm gonna feed off of your energy, so keep me energized. Let's go. So secret number 2: how to trade stocks at an unfair advantage, even if you've never invested before. Let me make sure this is recording. How to trade stocks at an unfair advantage, even if you've never invested before. So, first of all, I know you think that this section is going to be something super, super intuitive or super just, oh my gosh, like this is something new and I've never heard this before. And it is. I'm going to share some stuff with you that is new, but I also want to share some stuff with you that is old. And the old pieces, step 1 is you got to pick the right companies. And I feel like, not even I feel like, I know because I've seen so many students, one of the reasons why you're losing is because you picked the wrong company to start. We're not searching for, as active investors and professional investors, we're not searching for the diamond in the rough, that one company that nobody knows about, that penny stock that is 3 cents and it's going to go to $1 million. That is not what we're looking for. If you want consistent income on a regular basis, I want you to pick good companies that are healthy, that will be around for years. They might be a little bit more expensive dollar wise, but those are the ones that are actually going to benefit you and give you that consistent income in your portfolio. We're not looking for the ones that nobody knows about. No, as traders, we want high volume. We want the best in breed. So we're going to be looking for what's the best company in every sector. And those are the ones that we're going to go after. Okay. And one of the tools that I want you to download to do this is CNBC. I want you to download it on your cell phone. It has a cell phone app. So download it on your cell phone. And then once you put it on your cell phone, I want you to actually do a watch list, put a watch list together. And the watch list is going to have all the companies in it that you like. But here's the thing. I want you to not only put the company you like, but I want you to put several other companies that compete with it in your watch list. So what does that mean? Okay, Terry, so I'm thinking about semiconductors. I like AMD. That's my favorite semiconductor company. Okay, so this is me talking to you. I'm talking to myself right now because this is a presentation. But I'd be like, okay, what other companies do you have in that sector? And so you might say, okay, well, AMD does chips, and Nvidia does chips, and Intel does chips. And what I'm talking about when I say chips is not potato chips. I'm talking about the chips that go into like cell phones and computers. So these are all chip semiconductor, like they're all chip companies. So AMD, Nvidia, and you could even say Microsoft, put that one in that bucket. But what I'd want you to do is I'd want you to put all 3 of those together on your watch list. And this is like a special tip. If you start organizing your watch list so that companies that are similar are together on your watch list, you're going to start seeing some trends. And it's just like a little pro tip. But there's certain companies that will trade together. For example, what other companies trade together? Of course, the FANG companies, so like Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Sometimes they're a little out of sync, but often they trade together because they're in the same ETF. You might also see like Adobe and Salesforce often trade together. Why is that? Because they're also in the same ETF. All of them are actually in XLK together. So you might see that all those start trading together. Or you might see that, of course, you got actually Visa would oftentimes moves in the same sense as, Visa moves in the same sense as Adobe and Salesforce. And you may say, why? They're such different companies. But actually, Visa is in several ETFs with Salesforce and Adobe. So those are going to move together too. And of course, Visa will move with with MasterCard. But whatever companies are similar, if you put them together on your watch list, you'll start seeing trends. But not only that, you'll see which one of those is the best company. So, say, for example, you put those three semiconductor companies together on your watch list, and then you say which one of these moves the most on a good day and the least on a bad day. Start watching that over a week and you'll start seeing some patterns and you'll be able to pick the best. That's how we say the best in breed. You'll be able to pick the best one in each sector, and that's the one I want you to invest in. Rewatch the replay if you didn't understand what I said, okay? But start organizing your watch list, and then I want you to start picking the best companies in each sector. All right? That's how you're actually going to start making money. And you guys up there understand too? Cool. And then there's several other things on picking good companies, but it all starts with picking healthy companies that are the best companies in their sector. Then from there, couple other pro tips for the pandemic. During the pandemic, during coronavirus, I do not want you to invest in companies that are overall unhealthy. What do you mean, Terry? What do you mean? So, there are several companies right now that are extremely impacted by coronavirus, extremely impacted, like the travel companies. All of hospitality is impacted. All of the movie companies are impacted. All of the airlines are impacted. And they're impacted to the point that they don't have customers, they don't have revenue, their debt is going up. And right now, their stock prices are really low. And as a longer term investor, you've probably always been told buy low, sell high. We still want to do that, but some companies are no longer good companies at all. And those are, as a trader with someone trying to make income, I don't want you to go after those right now. I'd rather you go after the great companies that, because the market fell, they're coming down. Those are the ones I want you to go after. So, like when Amazon starts coming down to a lower price, buy that one. When, when Salesforce and Adobe, I'm saying these same ones, but when they come down, buy those. If Zoom decides to come down, buy it. Buy the healthier companies, not the ones that are super impacted by Corona. All right. And then I want you to start thinking about what companies will thrive during the pandemic, because after the initial shock of all of the stocks falling, the good companies that actually are making money during the pandemic, they're going to start rising again. We saw that in March, and then we may see it again now with a more uncertain economy again. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about gaming companies, technology companies, telehealth, and then also virtual meetings. Anything virtual will do well right now. Even if it's DocuSign, it doesn't have to be necessarily a meeting like Zoom. It could be signing a document virtually as well. So think about those companies that are going to thrive, and then when they have a bad day, you're going to be looking to get into some of those too. So that's just pro tips, right, on how to pick good companies. Random other pro tip is you can also see who's hiring. A lot of times companies will tell you we're about to hire 3,000 new people because clearly their business is doing really well. So that's also another pro tip on another way to find companies that are healthy. You can also look at earnings, like there's lots of other things, but just want to, on the surface level, make sure you're looking for healthy companies. Now, we talked about this. You're going to invest in value companies that are best in quality. You're going to buy stocks that are on an uptrend, but just having a bad day. And then this is the last piece in secret number 2. How are you going to afford those more high value companies? And the way that I do it and that I teach my students to do it is we use something called margin. And I know this is highly controversial. A lot of people will say don't use margin, but we have margin accounts. And what is a margin account? A margin account is where you get to trade with the bank's money. The bank will give you up to 4 times your cash amount, right? So many people used to think that you needed a lot of money to invest, but it's not true because you can use these margin accounts and you don't have to invest in penny stocks. So let me show you what margin looks like a little more in depth. So if you have $500, but this is just showing you 4 times the cash amount. It really for a trade station, which is my broker, it starts at 2,000. So you do have to have at least $2,000 in the account for them to give you margin. So this one is just an example. 500 to 2,000. um and then if you have $5,000, that's 20,000 that you'd get to trade with. And this one's just wrong. I think if this was multiple choice, this one ain't right. It's if it was 50,000, it would be 200,000, not 500,000. But do you guys see kind of how it's multiplying? It's like amplifying the ability that you have to buy stock. Now, somebody's going to say, but Terry, if you use so much money, how are you going to protect yourself? Well, that goes back to what we just talked about in secret number 1. We're still putting in our stops. We're making sure that we're calculating our risk. We're calculating our reward to risk. So you still have to have a risk management plan, and you have to have even more diligent risk management plan if you're using margin. But that doesn't mean that you can't use it. And this will allow you to invest in a couple more healthy companies. Do you have to use it? No. Margin is something that will just sit in your account like a line of credit on a house. So if you've ever had a house and then you have to do some improvements, the bank sometimes will give you a line of credit. If you use it, then you have to pay an interest on it. If you don't use it, it just sits there. And that's the same thing as a margin account in stocks. So it's our little secret. All right. Couple things about margin. Yes, margin is risky. And if you lose money with the banks, like if you're in a trade and you lose money, it comes out of your cash side, right? And if you lose more than the cash you have, they will do something called a margin call. But like I said, it's important to learn the risk management piece, and then that will help you with this. The bank does charge a small interest on margin. For TradeStation, it's like 0.03%, like something super small. So we calculated it that for every $10,000 of margin we use, they charged us $3 a day. So it's really a very low amount, but you just know that it's not meant for you to hold it long term. It's meant for you to do quicker trades, like a day trade, and then you can get out of it and then you'll be able to do a different trade. And then one other thing that is important about margin, though, and why I do encourage you to get a margin account, even if you're not using it, is remember when I was telling you can make money on the way down? You can only do that with a margin account. So there's like limits to what you can do in trading unless you have the right tools. One of the right tools is the right account. So I use a brokerage called TradeStation. I highly recommend them. But if you're wanting to be able to do shorting, which is making money on the way down, then make sure you open a margin account. All right. All right. Anybody learning today? You learning something you didn't know before? You're like, wait, what? Okay, I need to go open the right account. Yep. It's just like the difference between a checking and a savings account. It's just if you want to make an interest or a bigger return, you get a savings account. So it's just a different type of account, but you got to know to ask. You just won't get the same features in a checking account. So you won't get the same features in a cash account versus margin account for traders. And then here's an example of how that works. So this is Miss Baylor. She's one of my students. And she had sent me an email that she made $12,000 in less than 12 days. And in our class, it's no picture, no proof. So she sent me the pictures, and this is how it goes. So she had invested, and oh my gosh, like when it's so cool. So this is like the benefit of being an investor for some time. Like you get to see the progression of the market. So at the time that she did this trade, TTD was $198. Y'all, TTD recently was at $600. So I can just imagine if she over time had kept trading this. And somebody might say, well, she could just bought and hold it. Yeah, she could, but at the same time, it didn't go to 600 till just a couple months ago. So she could make money like she did. I'm about to show y'all this trade. She could have made money over and over again and then made some money when it went up to $600. So she got into TTD, it was 198. And she bought 26 shares. Y'all see this in the middle? She bought 26 shares at $663. And excuse me, no, she bought 26 shares at the 198, and then by the time she sent me the screenshot, she had made $663. But the point that I want you to look at is how much it cost her to take this trade. So it cost her $5,141. You guys see that? So for her to buy 26 shares of of TTD, which is Trade Desk, and that there, if anybody's wondering what the Trade Desk is a marketing company. So they're the thing that helps you have ads on your cell phone. So that's why they're doing so well during coronavirus. But so the Trade Desk, she bought 26 shares and it was worth 198. So it would have cost her $5,141 to buy this trade or to get into this trade. But then when you look at her account, look at how much she actually has in the account. So if you look down at the bottom, the account net worth at the beginning of the day was only 2,600, 2,652. Y'all see that? And then once she had that profit of 663, it was 3,326. So you may be wondering, if she only got 3,000 in her account, how does she afford to buy that or to get into this trade for $5,000? And it was because she used a little bit of her margin. She had extra buying power that could allow her to take this trade even though she had less money in the account. So that's what I mean when saying it's cool to have a margin account, because that will allow you to afford some of the more expensive stocks, even if your account size is smaller. And it's not like, once again, it's not like we broke the bank. She had 26, she needed an extra 26-ish to take the trade. So she was able to use it, 2,600. So it's not like, once again, it's not like she's using huge numbers and, oh my God, Terry, why are you teaching them this? No, like, this is something you guys need to know is out there. Other people know about it. So you guys should know too, right? So, and by the end of this trade, she had actually made $889. And the realized profit means this is when she sold it. So she made a 33% return on this trade. She started out with $2,600. She made $889 on this trade, and now her account's at $3,550. That's a 33% return on that trade, which is excellent. That's so much better than the market's usually giving you 8 to 10%, right? So that's how we're making bigger returns. And our students are all trying to make the $1,000 in a day club. So that's how we're able to do it. We're using margin accounts. So does this make sense? You use a margin account, and that will help you afford value companies, and that will give you a better return than penny stocks or those random companies that you're trying to find that nobody else knows about. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Okay. I think you get the point. Okay, secret number 3. 2 more secrets. We're almost there. So secret number 3, the top 5 investing mistakes all new traders need to avoid. Yes. And you guys still with me? Let me see you in the chat. Actually, let me know on this one. Tell me, so which of these mistakes is you? I want you to put "that's me" in the chat if one of these is you. So, investing without a plan. How many of you guys have gotten to a trade, you did not have a plan, you just got in? Put "that's me" if that's you. Do I see you? Yes. And somebody said you don't have to use all of it, just portions. Investing without a plan. What about not seeking the correct mentors and coaches? How many of you all have made that mistake? Not seeking the correct mentors and coaches. What about buying and selling trades based on emotion? I see a lot of that's me's. I see a lot of that's me's. What about holding on to losing trades way too long? How many of you guys have some trades in your portfolio right now and they are really red, like really red, and you're just not letting go of it because you're not ready? I just don't want to. This is what I always hear. I just don't want to sell it that low. I don't want to take the loss like that. You already have the loss. The loss is already there. You just need to sell it. so so it won't go down any lower. The loss, believe me, it's already there. It's showing you the red right there. It's showing you it's already there. Don't worry, I've done this too. I'm like, I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to take the loss. It might come up tomorrow. I'm hoping, anytime you hear I'm hoping from a trader, that is not good. I'm hoping that it's going to come back to up, like I'm just going to wait. It's already so low. It can go lower, guys. So holding on to a losing trade. And then the last thing, thinking that you have to buy and hold in order to make money. How many people would admit that's you? You think that you have to buy and hold in order to make money in trading, in investing in general. Well, secret number 3 is that that's actually not true. You can be an active investor. In order to create consistent income, like it's okay to get in and out of the market. Like our goal is to make $200 a day. And don't forget, like you can do that. You can actively invest to make the $200 a day. You don't have to use investing just for retirement. And it's literally the difference between, like, in real estate, there's flippers and then there's the buy and hold investors. And nobody tells real estate investors that they're wrong. Like, I can't believe you're flipping that house. Oh my God, you're going to actually make money in a month. You're going to buy it today, fix it up, and then sell it. I don't believe it, but everybody says that to traders. I can't believe that you're getting in and out of trades. You're active investing. Oh my God. Whatever. There's no right or wrong way to invest. They're just different. They have different goals. Buying a long-term real estate investor, they're going to hold it for retirement. A flipper is going to make their money fast. A long-term investor is going to buy and hold for retirement. A active investor is going to use money right now for income. Like the IRS deems active investors as people that are making money for or trading for income. And who doesn't want income? I do. Like, even as a assistant principal, I wanted a side hustle. We all need extra income sometime, pay off bills, help our kids go to private schools. Like, we just need income, right? So, and then this is just an example of what this could look like. So this was I think, I'm not sure if this was last year or the year before, but Facebook had started off the year at 175 and then it went up throughout the year to 220, but by the end of the year, I think this was actually 2018. By the end of the year it ended at 162 and then even went lower than that. I think it went back down to like 150. So if you had been a buy and hold investor, you would have lost for the year because by the end of the year, it was lower than where it started at the beginning of the year. But if you were an active investor, you had several times to make some money and then even get in again. Like, see up here oh yeah, this is 2018. In the beginning of the year, it came up to 195 and then it came down in April. You could have, well, if you had sold up here at 195, you could have got back in when it came low to 150. And then after that, it zoomed up to 220. You could have sold and made some money up there. So there were several opportunities as an active investor to make money in this stock versus the longer term investor. They were in the hole just sitting on this all year because it went down by the end of the year. Does that make sense? So it's not so much that it's that one way of investing is better than the other. I think it's good to have skill sets in both. And trading in and out of a position can help you make consistent income, which even sometimes can lead to better returns than just buy and hold. That's why you need to learn this skill set. And that was one thing that I have two Keishas in my class. This Keisha actually said that learning how to actively invest was one of the best things I could have ever taught her. And let me see if I zoom into her message. I do. So she had told me that she had made it into the $1,000 a day club. She had sold Chipotle, and I told you we'd say no picture, no proof. So she sent me the actual pictures of it, and she told me that she had made $1,250. But in the text, the coolest thing is she says, just the fact that you've taught me not to hold on to trades. And excuse me, guys, I've seen almost all of my long-term trades, I've sold almost all of my long-term trades, which has been such a blessing with the tariff mess. So at this time, we had just heard about all of the China tariffs. And so she had sold right before that. And then that way, when the tariff information came out, the market fell. She wasn't in any of the trades and she was able to get back in at the lower prices. And then she sent me another text message. And it was like, oh my God, dearie, today is my birthday. This is how I read it when she sent it to me. Oh my God. Today is my birthday, and I had to share the absolute best birthday gift to myself was purchasing your class. Today I made $1,900 with Amazon. So she had sold, got into Amazon when it came down lower, and then was able to make some money on the way up. So just like active investing, neither one is, like I said, neither one is worse or better than the other. It's just a skill set that is really awesome to have so that you can make income. And then the last secret, how can you make $1,000 a day without spending hours on end in front of the computer? And that one is with dun, 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 dun. Um, that one is actually with charts. So during my time as an assistant principal, I used to spend hours researching stocks before I really learned how to read charts. And hours of time that I, like you said, I didn't really have until thankfully I learned how to read charts. So the coolest thing is that when you learn how to read a chart, it reduces the time that you need in order to research because the chart will tell you everything you need to know about when to get into a trade and when to get out of a trade. And that's at least my way because I'm a technical analysis trader. So charts were a game changer for me because it just made so much sense and it was so much easier. So here's a pro tip. Another pro tip. I told you about your watch list earlier, but I want you to start limiting it down. I had one student when I first started working with her, she had 100 stocks she was watching. And I was like, girl, how are you going to have time to look at all 100 of these stocks? And she told me, Terry, I don't. That's why I'm losing money. And I understood that. I really did. Um, so I told her, okay, we're going to need to narrow this down. So let's narrow this watch list down. Like right here, I have 20 to 30 companies, but honestly, you could narrow it down to like 5 to 10 and get to know those companies really well. But if you first narrow down your watch list and then start getting familiar with their charts, it will so cut down your time. So, for example, this was a time where I was at a conference and it was a FinCon conference, but I didn't have a lot of time because I was in sessions and I had been charting how much, like tracking how much I was making. And if you guys see down here, let's look at this week right here where it says FinCon. This is the week I was in the conference. So I made $1,000 and keep this in mind. So I'm going to ask you again. So I made $1,000, $1,010 here. Then I made $1,410 here. So let me say this right. So I made $1,010 and then $1,410. And then I didn't trade Wednesday. And then I lost some money Thursday, which, hey, you're not going to win every day. So I lost $1,631 on Thursday. And that was actually strategic. I just didn't want to have a big loss. It's better to have a smaller loss than a big loss. And then Friday, I made $5,486. So my total for the week was $6,275. Okay. So keep these in mind. $1,010 on Monday, $1,410 Tuesday, $5,400 on Friday. All right. Y'all remember these numbers? Now let's see how much time it took me to make those numbers. Oh, I didn't realize I could zoom in. Well, there you go. Remember these numbers. All right. So I was looking at my app. I used TradeStation as my broker. So I was able to look at how much time I was spending on TradeStation. So for that overall week, the whole $6,000, I only spent 4 hours and 59 minutes trading to make that $6,000. And then this is how that shook out. So Monday, I spent 48 minutes trading to make $1,010. Then Tuesday, I spent an hour and 27 minutes, so less than an hour and a half to make $1,410. And then on this day, on Friday, I only spent 1 hour, 29 minutes in order to make that $5,400. So if you're wondering, well, Terry, can I actually have a full-time job and still do this? Or how long does it take? Will I need to be looking at it all day? The answer is no. You really don't. Like you can actually do this. You can make your goal in little time. And I know there's on the YouTube and on Instagram, there's students in here that have made like massive amounts in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. And then even with these, this wasn't a consistent hour. This was me going into a session, come back, check my phone because we can trade on our cell phone, and then, check the charts, see if it's hit where I wanted it to hit, and then go back into the session. So it's not even a consistent hour and a half. So once you become a good trader and you start really learning how to read those charts, it can take you a lot less time on a daily basis to actually make the money that you want to make. All right. So does that make sense? Swallowing how we can follow a small number of companies and then get familiar with the charts of those positions. And then that will lead us to less time trading. Put a 4 in the chat because it's secret number 4, if that made sense. And this is actually Annette. Many of you guys might know Annette, but Annette is one of my first students too. She was one of the first students in my first cohort 2 years ago. And she actually has sent me this message, and she had made $2,500. She was so excited because it was the first time she'd ever made that much. And the coolest thing though is if you look way down over here, let me see if I zoom into it. Way down over here, it says, I was done in 20 minutes. I was done in 20 minutes. So she made $2,599 in 20 minutes. And you can see here from the chart, she did it because she was reading charts. And this is cool too. She actually did this as a short sale, which I told y'all about earlier. She did it on the way down. All right. Cool. So did y'all learn something? I've been talking forever, so now it's your turn to talk. So I want to know how many of you guys, and let me know in the chat, how many of you guys are going to try this? Like how many of you are going to set up a trading plan so that you can pick good companies, set up stop losses, read charts, run short sales, and make money in any market? Like how many of you guys have I motivated you? Okay, Terry, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to start doing this so I can start investing. And remember that the question I asked you earlier was, what if you started with just $200 and how that would change your life? So that extra $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month, like how would that change your life? Now tell me, how many of you guys actually want me to help you with this? You're like, I want to know how to do this, but I'm gonna need some help. Let me know. Anybody in the chat like, Terry, now what do I do for your help? I'm gonna look in the chat. Okay, good. I see some people raising their hands. They're like, yes, yes, me. Okay, cool. Okay. So you guys, I want to know. All right. So let me show you guys how to get my help. So let me make this bigger again. I just had to check the chat. I was like, does anybody in here need my help on this? So the way that you do this, and hopefully it didn't freeze on me. There it goes. It's back. Okay, so one of the cool things, and let me share this with you before I share how you can get my help. But if you guys see right here in the red shirt, do y'all see Joanne? Can y'all see her? Joanne had actually spent $45,000 on a different investing course before she came to me. And when she came to me, she had spent the $45,000 and never took a trade because she said she just didn't understand from what they were teaching her, and she was scared. And once I started working with her, she sent me this message, and it's really hard for y'all to see it here, but she sent me a message and she made her first $2,777 in a day. And she was so excited. She's like, I did it. Oh my God. But there are going to be a lot of courses out there. There's a lot of people. And I'm sure that you're wondering, like, well, why, Terry, would I want to work with you? And I think it's things like this. It's when Like Joanne paid $45,000 to somebody else and never took a trade. Um, I'm a good teacher. Like I came from 10 years of education and that's my superpower. Like that's what my students say about me. They say that you're a good teacher. So like here one of my students says Terry's an incredible instructor. She's one of the most patient people I've ever encountered. Has a command of her subject matter that inspires confidence, hope, competency, and incremental success in stock trading and in life. Terry's been there to answer my questions prior to becoming her student, and of course, since becoming her student. She is gracious and humble in accepting compliments and praise. I love her infectious giggle. Aw, haven't read that in a little while. Appreciate it. And then this is Uche here. And Uche, same thing. Terry's a natural born teacher. Her ability to simplify the complexities of the stock market is so very much appreciated. This is the first time I'm able to easily navigate the stock market, understand the charts, and make trades, and all this in only 8 weeks. I am grateful for all the time she has devoted to her students in this class and her endless patience to explain things clearly, encourage us to make trades using the strategies, and helping us navigate through our issues or questions we have. I'm looking forward to the advanced class and taking your trading to the next level, taking my trading to the next level. That's what my students say. I'm a teacher. And that's what makes me stand out. Um, And remember, you don't have to have a lot of money to start. This is Carlene. You can start with any amount. And so here's what I have to offer. And in comparison, what I have to offer, usually people go to university to get this. Like this would be something that you would go get your MBA to learn how to invest. And oftentimes, people that get their MBAs will tell you they still don't invest. Like I have friends in my course that went to Harvard Business School, Stanford Business School, like every school, and they still come and learn from me how to actually invest in the stock market. And that's when they start seeing results. Like they make it into our $1,000 in a day club, and they've made the results actually improve their finances after coming to me and after spending the 80,000 in a university. Or you could go to a trade school, and I know these costs are going up, like what Joanne paid, the 45,000. You can go to a school where you do like a week long something seminar, and they charge you 45,000. You guys have even seen they often do this with real estate classes too. You go in for a weekend, they tell you pay us $45,000. We'll have somebody coach you for one day, and then you're out there to fend on your own. That's what they do. Or you have my course, and I'll show you everything that's in it. But my course is an 8 week curriculum where we're walking you through all the different things that I taught you today and more. So, how do you pick good companies? How do you put in the right risk management to protect yourself from losing? How do you make sure that you're reading charts? Like, how do you do that right so you get in and out at the right place? How do you make sure you have a trading plan so that you're not trading with emotions, but with discipline? And then we go into the VIP program. Well, now how do you make money on the way down? How do you make sure to look at gaps in Globex trading? How do you use options to take it to the next level? We do stocks and options in the class. So all of that on the low end, even this is just the first half of what I told you is 20,000. And then I've recently got some more analysis that it's actually worth $53,000. All the things that I teach my students and all of the bonuses that we give is worth $53,000. And I'll show you what's in the class. So you get that trade and travel program I was telling you about, the online curriculum. Then you get, and this is just the first half, then I'll show you the second half. So then you also get a Facebook group. I told you I've taught over 3,500 students now. So you get a Facebook group with all those students that have been in there over the years. So like they're now I've trained up people that are almost like experts themselves. And they're in that Facebook group, and we're all sharing ideas on what stocks to trade and giving each other encouragement and shouting each other out. Then you also get the Invest with Terry roadmap. So my trading plan, you get my watch list. So I told you that you should shorten your list to about 30 companies, but you actually don't have to work hard to find those. I give you my watch list. We also give you my reward to risk calculator. So that thing I was telling you, like, how do you calculate higher probability trades? I'll give you a calculator where you can actually put the trade in and see, does it hit your reward to risk? Then I'll give you partnerships and perks from TradeStation, and that's by itself worth $6,200 because they waive all commission fees, they waive the data fees, and they waive the fee that we need to get into the simulator. So my students are able to actually fund their account with $500 and then trade in a fake account until they learn how to trade well. So while they're learning, they're trading in a fake account. TradeStation usually tells people they have to fund the account with more money, but our students only have to fund it with $500. So like they waive all kind of fees, and even with options, for options there's still a fee, but 20% of that they refund to the students until they pay for the cost of the class. So until they pay, thousands of dollars, that's when like TradeStation is refunding thousands of dollars to them in fees. And then you're going to get all of my coaching calls from the last 2 years. So that's over 48 hours of coaching calls from the past 2 years. You get a vault with all those recordings. And on top of that, and that's actually a bonus. You get a bonus for guest speakers. I bring guest speakers into the course too, so that you can even learn from them. So all of this value is $20,441, and that's just the first half of the course. So this is LaQuery and Gerald. They both made into the $1,000 a day club plus more. Both of them now are in like the $10,000. Well, I know LaQuery for sure is in the $10,000 a day club. So here's the thing with pricing. So I had to make a choice. I had two options with pricing. So I could either, option one, I could price the program really cheaply and share this opportunity with as many people as possible. However, to tell you the truth, if I priced it too cheaply, then that wouldn't give me a real incentive to stay engaged. Because if people aren't paying very much, then I'd rather go trade than to actually teach people. Or I can require a little higher investment, but give more of my time and resources into the course to support you and to support the students. And so I chose option number two. But it's really a little mix of both, because you're getting all of this value in just the first part of the class that's worth over $20,000, and that bonus of the guest speakers, which is actually worth over $1,200 because the speakers we bring in are killers. So like you'll make money from the speakers. And then I'm actually adding in another bonus. We now have a trade and travel study group where students get to study together once a week. And that, in addition, is worth another $2,497. So I know I haven't set the price yet, but even if all this course did was allow you to learn a skill that would generate income for the rest of your life, would it be worth it? If you had a skill that you could do to make income the rest of your life, or if you could make an extra $200 a day, would it be worth it? Remember, that's $48,000 extra a year that I just taught you how to do. Or if you could confidently trade your 401k, would it be worth it? Just imagine if your 401k that's currently making like 5% a year was now making 10% a year because you're trading it. Would it be worth it? And then what about if you just had more quality time with your family? Maybe you didn't have to work as much overtime because you're covering it yourself now. Would it be worth it? So just thinking about that and how much that's worth, and when we put in those bonuses, you're getting now $24,000 worth of value. And this is literally, like I said, just the first half of the course. Seeing that, you can see why it's worth it even at $10,000. It's worth it. If I taught you how to make $48,000 a year, it's worth $10,000. But for you guys, because I haven't done a webinar in a while, and because the Lord told me I need to stay up till I do this webinar, I'm going to do all of those things for just $5,000. It's worth $24,000, and that's just the first half of it. I'm about to show you all the stuff that you're actually getting for this $5,000. So the $24,000 It's worth 10,000. I'm going to do all of that for just 5,000. Plus, on top of all of what I just said, you get the second half of the course, which is also included in the 5,000. So you get all of these things: the trade and travel plan, the Facebook group, the roadmap, the watch list, the risk to reward calculator, the trade station perks, the 48 hours of coaching calls, additional guest speakers. Then you get we get the study groups and the guest speakers. I said that one already, but actually I'm discounting that all, just that first half, all the way down to 2,500. And then you get the second half of the course. I know, this is why I'm like, my prices are crazy. I really, in the world, need to just switch it all up. So, so after the first half, which is what I just showed you, we call that trade and travel. You get all of that for just $2,500. Then I give you this second half of the course, which is the VIP. So you get advanced short selling strategies, you get options trading strategies, which are worth over $12,000 in value. Then you get gaps trading strategies, another 4,000. Then you get Globex trading strategies, which is another 2,500 that it's worth. Then you get a VIP Facebook group. And so now you have all the VIPs that are killing it. And my VIPs, by the way, they decided that they want a $10,000 in a day club because they're hitting $1,000 in a day. And now they're going for the $10,000 in a day club. So you're going to be around those people that are all striving to make $10,000 in a day. And then you get live coaching calls, which are worth over $3,000. You get additional accountability and support, which is priceless. And if we ever do an in-person, like this year in January, I did an in-person conference and it was free for all my VIPs. So you get the first access to in-person conferences and workshops as a VIP. So all of this, in addition to what I just shared with you, is worth over $53,000. So you're getting all of that for just $5,000. So that's what the trade and travel class is. Like, that's all the stuff that it includes. And if you want to enroll, we're enrolling now for our November cohort that starts November 1st. And then like every first of the month, we bring new students in. So the curriculum's online. So you can get started whenever you want, but then those coaching calls, they start over every month. So come in now. Like, you got a short amount of time left. Come on in for the November cohort. And it's $5,000. Now, let me tell you a couple other things. Excuse me. A couple more bonuses. And I told you, for everybody who stayed till the end, I was going to give you a cool bonus. So bonus number 3 is that you get the live Q&A call with me as well, which is worth over $2,500. So if you buy the VIP program tonight, especially, then you'll be able to get the live VIP call. And that's where you get to ask me whatever questions you want to ask me, and we can go through them. So that one is a bonus that you'll get as well tonight. So now everything that I've told you is worth over $61,000, and you're getting it for just $5,000. That's more than a 90% discount. This is why when people ask, like, Terry, give us a promo code, or Terry, give us a discount, I'm like, the course is already discounted 90%. So you get all of that for $5,000. All right. So you can go to investwithterry.com, and this is the full lineup. But let me tell you real quick. So I'm in a second, I'm going to let you guys ask me questions. This is what the difference is. People also often ask me, but let me show you something real quick, because I know some people are going to want to do this. For those that stayed on till the end. So let me see how many people that is. Okay, that's 68 people on Instagram. And how many people is this on YouTube? How many of you guys are still with me? Okay, cool. That's 420 of you guys. For you all, y'all are the real MVPs. You are the real MVP. So for you guys, you can use promo code REALMVP and take $500 off the course, off that VIP program. It only works for if you pay in full for a VIP, But when you go do promo code real VIP, oh, you know what? And let me make sure that it's activated because I didn't activate it. How about this for you guys right now? Use promo code life skills if it's not working, and in a second when we start answering questions, then I'll make sure that that real MVP promo code works. But you guys can use life skills for $500 off. Um, for $500 off of VIP. So here, I'll switch this up right now for us. And then right after this call, I'll go back and you can also use real MVP. But for right now, use code life skills. You see it there for $500 off of the VIP course. All right. Now, some of you guys are going to say, well, Terry, I don't have $5,000. I really want to get started, but I don't have $5,000. That's totally fine. This is where I want you to start then. If you don't have the $5,000 yet, you can start with the first half that I was telling you about, and it only costs $2,500. And there are payment plans. So if you can't do the whole 5,000, just start with the 25 and you can always upgrade to the VIP later and you'll just pay the difference. So with the trade and travel, the first half of the course, you're going to get, I'll just repeat it one more time so that you're not confused. And you go to investwithterry.com. That's where it is, investwithterry.com. And if you're using that promo code for the 5,000, use life skills for now. Life skills. And then right after we finish tonight, I'll activate the real MVP code as well. All right. So for that first half of the class, you're getting trade and travel program, which is that 4 classes, intro to stocks, risk management, technical analysis, so how to read charts, and the trading plan. And they're like legit classes, like videos. I've done like professional videography, PowerPoints, like it's legit. And then you're going to get my roadmap in there, my trading plan, my watch list, risk calculator, rewards risk calculator. You're going to get those trade station perks for being a student. You'll get the coaching calls, 48 hours of coaching calls. Then you'll get the guest speakers, and then you'll get the student only Facebook page. And also we had one other bonus that I had added in there as well, which was guest speakers. Oh, and the study groups. And you're going to get access to the exclusive study groups, trade and travel study group. Yep. So it's actually even more value than this, and the price is $2,500. And then if you continue, so for VIP, you get everything that's included in trade and travel, which was $2,500. But now we add on shorting, options, gaps trading, Globex, the VIP Facebook group, and now you have live coaching calls. This one, we have coaching calls in the program, and we actually currently still have we have them live as well, but it's guaranteed to you as a bonus in the VIP program that you're going to get coaching calls here. And then we have accountability and support, and we have in-person workshops and training. And then I also added in for tonight, and for those that are watching this YouTube, that you will also get Q&A with me if you join the VIP program. So all of that for just $5,000. You guys, like, this is a lot. It really is. And for anybody who's checked out other investing courses, you know that this is a lot. You may have seen some other courses and they do $5,000 a year, not just $5,000 for a lifetime. And you do get lifetime access to all the curriculum, and then you get a year access to the coaching calls with this $5,000. Same thing here with the $2,500. You get lifetime access to the first part of this curriculum with that $2,500. So this is the course, and this is how I can help you. This is what I've put together, and it's my best effort to make sure that you're going to be successful, and that at least you have the best tools to be a good investor. Because I think honestly, that's what's the problem. We get in there, we don't know what we're doing, and we think we're just going to figure it out. Like, okay, I know I've heard people are doing well in investing. I opened an account. I'm just going to figure it out. But while you're figuring it out, that's wasting time because you're losing money. You're all over YouTube looking at everybody's videos and getting confused. You think you understand it when you see their video on YouTube, and then you go do it yourself and you're confused because you don't have support. So it's nice to have a community, the curriculum, and the support all in one place. And that's what we offer at Trade and Travel. So this is what I got. Let me see what questions you all have. But once again, use code LifeSkills, and you'll get that $500 off of VIP at investwithterry.com. And on that promo only works for the pay in full VIP. But if you don't have the 5,000, don't worry. Just pay for the regular Trade and Travel. Pay the 2,500. Okay. And on the Invest with Terry page, to see VIP, you have to scroll to the bottom and you'll see it as one of the additional programs. Click that one and you'll get VIP. All righty. Yeah. And our students are killing it. This one was just another one of my students, Cynthia, and she just said she was so excited. She had almost made 7,000 in 4 days, and she was just like, "No, woulda, coulda, shouldas. I was away from FOMO. Like, thank you, Terry, for just helping me change my mindset." And she's now trading her retirement as well. So she was like, "Tell them that I'm trading my retirement account now, and I made a 273% return on one of my investments." So, I mean, whose retirement is working as hard as you would work for yourself, right? So one-time payment, or there are payment plans. Don't forget, it's down here, investwithterry.com. And yeah, that's the course. That's Trade and Travel. So any questions? So let me escape from here, investwithterry.com, and then go to your questions. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see. All right. So let me look at YouTube. Was that helpful? Did you guys learn a lot? I feel like I tried to make sure that you at least had some tools in your tool belt today, like how to protect yourself from losing, how to make sure you're picking better companies, just how to make sure that you're thinking about investing right. The fact that you can do active investing instead of just buy and hold. Okay. And then if you're upgrading, there is an upgrade link in the course. So, and there's no promo on there's no promo code on upgrading. Thank you, Wendy. Wendy says, and Terry, it's so worth it. So no, if you're already a Trade and Travel student, the promo code doesn't work for upgrades. It's just for when you first buy the VIP and pay in full. And you all, yes, please pick like and press share on this video. I hear that helps the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. And let's see, any other questions that you guys have? I'm looking at the chat now. Oh, nice. I'm seeing a lot of my students are in here wanting to upgrade. You guys keep looking out on the Facebook group. Keep looking out on the Facebook page. We might maybe something will come out for Black Friday or something. And I'm talking about our current students because the promo code won't work for them. It's only for new students. Good, Curtis. And Curtis says, yes, you're giving us value. Awesome. AF says, how long can you use the promo code? The promo code, honestly, is supposed to be for just right after the webinar, but you can use life skills through November 1st, especially, or through the 1st, because we want to make sure that you can get into the cohort. Yes, so Trade and Travel is 2,500 and VIP is 5,000. And then Sean, actually, no, the VIP, because Sean thought it was 7,500 altogether. The VIP actually includes Trade and Travel. So the 5,000 actually includes the 2,500. So it's just 5,000. Okay. Napoleon said, realistically, what account size do you need to start making $200 a day? Well, in the beginning, your goal is going to be 1% of your cash amount. So if you're trying to make $100 a day, then you'll need 10,000 in your account. If you're trying to make $200 a day, you'll need 20,000 in your account. Now, I'll tell you the truth. We already saw that somebody had 1,000. I showed you a testimony of someone had $986 in their account and they made $80. So you actually can perform a lot better than the 1% as you become a better investor. But just to have, expectations that are realistic in the beginning, I'm going to want you to try to go for 1% of your cash amount on a regular basis. And then as your skills grow, you'll actually be able to make higher percentages and you'll probably be able to have a bigger account. Okay. And thank you for all my students that are in here answering questions. I appreciate you. I love you guys. Cool. Yep, Sean, that's okay. You can start with trade and travel and then upgrade later to VIP. So if you start with the 2,500, then you just pay 2,500 later to upgrade. Mm-hmm. Yep, you just pay the difference. That's right. So the payment plan is, I think it's 900 a month for 3 months. It's actually a little bit more expensive than if you pay in full. So it's good to pay in full. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, Wendy. The students in the chat are awesome. It's so cool. I can't believe you guys are still awake. Hey, Nina. So Nina's our director of student success. She's in the chat too. Oh, I love you too. All right. Well, guys, trying to see. I don't want to miss any of your questions. All right. So if I see a couple people say, how much do you need to trade with once you buy the course? You need $500 to open your TradeStation account. And then you're going to trade in a simulator while you're learning, especially right now. Like if you start trading right now, there's elections going on, stimulus, coronavirus. So I think it's really good for you to start now, get the education while everything's uncertain, but you can practice in your simulated account with fake money. And then that way, once you've really built up the skill set, you'll go into 2021 with this amazing skill set ready to make some money because you've been practicing the last couple months, right? So you'll be right on time. And someone's gonna okay, I see your question about alerts, but I will say that someone's probably going to ask, "Well, Terry, can people make money earlier than the 8 weeks because it's usually an 8-week program?" Yes. So after your first 2 weeks, I'm going to give you homework to start trading, and oftentimes people will start making money right then. But I think as you learn more, you're going to become better and better at making money. So give yourself about at least 8 weeks to learn the curriculum and then give yourself even more time to become consistent as a trader. It's not a get rich quick plan. This is a skill set, like learning how to learn a new language. It takes time to get fluent, but then once you have it, this is something you can use for life. And then, okay, Beagle Bell says alerts. Do you send alerts to your students on your trades or positions? And the answer is no. I really love to trade and travel. Like I love my free time. So, I can take a trade anywhere. I might be at the airport. I might be in a meeting. So I won't have time to tell people in enough time what I'm actually trading. But for the VIPs, when we do live sessions and they have me, I freely tell them what I'm in. They know a lot of my positions and I'll talk to them. Mhm. Okay, good. So John says international accounts with TradeStation. They do cover the UK. So all of my students in England and Germany, all of them are covered. They also cover South Korea. You can use TradeStation there. So many places in Asia and China, you can use it. You can use it in South Africa. So most places you can use it. We don't have a broker though in Canada. So we have many Canadian students because they can still use the curriculum, but we use a different broker in Canada. And then someone told me recently too, they can't use the broker in Nigeria. So we're looking for a different broker there too. If you are in the States though, and you open it here and then you go travel, you could use TradeStation wherever. You just need it on your cell phone. So you should be fine. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Rod. Rodman says Terry is the real deal. Appreciate it. Um uh Shimsa says it's definitely life changing. Yes. Shout out to Annette who's here. Love the trade and travel signs. Hey Stephanie, welcome to the course. Stephanie says she'll be signing up. Okay, so Babo says, can we make $1,000 a day with the beginner course? Yes. So we actually have over 600 students in our $1,000 in a day club. And that means that they have realized a profit of over $1,000 in a day. And our goal this year was to have 1,000 students in the $1,000 a day club. So that means we'd have $1 million being generated a day from our community. So like our students will be making $1 million a day and actually able to change the world. And so they actually are. They're like really able to change the world. Like now we have students making like $200,000 in a day, which is crazy to me, but it's happening. So yes, you can make the $1,000 in a day club with trade and travel. But I will tell you, the VIPs will just have more options. Like they'll have more abilities to trade. Like when the Dow is negative, they can still make money. When when they see a gap in the chart, they can still make money. They know how to make money with options. So they just have more tools in their toolbox. So it'll be a little easier for them. But trade and travel students are hitting $1,000 in a day club every day because I teach them how to pick the right companies and I teach them how to make money on the way up. Mm-hmm. Yes, Sean, $200,000 in a day, and we have screenshots. They have sent pictures, no picture, no proof. They are killing it. Okay. So Wendy said after putting the 5K, she'd be a little stretched. So don't forget that you can always start with the 2,500 course. And then that way you have a little bit of money to play with. And then you can always upgrade to VIP. So it's okay to start with the first half of the course, start learning, and then upgrade. You just pay the difference. Mm-hmm. No, I don't use specific indicators, Napoleon asked. I'm using formations in the chart. And Anthony says, do I trade futures? No, I just trade stocks and options. So in trading, there's four main asset classes. So there's stocks and options, but then there's futures, which is commodities like wheat, soybean, oil. And then there's Forex, which is currencies, like the difference between the Aussie dollar versus the American dollar or the Japanese yen. So I trade stocks and options. That's my specialty. Mhm. And I'm an active investor. So I don't do longer term positions. I'm looking at more short term. How do you make money in, a week to a month or a couple days? Okay. The 200K was a single person. He's like, wait, 200K from a group of people? Nope, that was just one person. Celeste, actually, that was one person in the VIP program. And another person actually made $300,000 in a day. He sent me one where he had made over 350,000, and that was in his real account. Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, they're killing it. Hey, welcome to the course, Michelle. Michelle says, I'm signed up for VIP. Welcome, welcome. You're welcome for the discount. Yeah, guys, if you guys need it, use Life Skills for VIP pay in full. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. Welcome to welcome to the cohort, November cohort. But welcome. And everybody come on in. The course is online, so you can start whenever, but we start our new coaching course, coaching calls at the beginning of each month. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You're welcome, Super Cheryl. And she says, "Thanks for making your course affordable." You're welcome. Because I'm sure you've looked around and researched. A lot of the courses are much more expensive than $5,000. Even my peers all looked down at me when I didn't change my course to 10,000. They're like, "Terry, your course should be no less than 10,000. Why are you still charging just 5,000?" Um, so yeah, thank you. I'm glad you know. I feel like those who have been looking around at courses, they know that she should be charging so much more for all that she gives. Mhm. Okay. Yes. I'll leave that code open for the next 24 hours so you can still get in it, Durar. Mhm. All right, guys. Well, it is late. Oh wow, it is late here. Let me let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for staying on with me, both YouTube and Instagram. Thank you guys. Y'all have a great evening, and I'll see you in the cohort. I'll see you in the next class. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.